Basketball time on the Sportsmax Zone, and this segment refreshed by Dasani, Powerade and Minute Maid. Well, these are the results of the 9 games contested in the NBA on Sunday. We had wins for the Bucks, Hawks, Bulls, Lakers, Cavaliers, Kings, Timberwolves, Trail Blazers and the Nuggets. Well, the Lakers continued their push for a play-in tournament spot with a hard-fought win over the Mavericks in Dallas.
Los Angeles Lakers 13th in the Western Conference entering Sunday's action. A game and a half behind the 10th spot and a possible bid at the play-in tournament. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks 6th in the West, just a half game behind 5th, 1 game behind 4th, and Luka Doncic trying to make sure they got themselves a home victory on Sunday. He and Kyrie trading 3-point baskets. Luka had 3 triples in the first 6 minutes alone. And then the defensive end. Tim Hardaway Jr. blocking LeBron up ahead to Luka for the lay-in. 2 of his 14 first quarter points as the Mavs led by 12 after 1. The Lakers struggling from deep early on in this one. They missed their first 14 attempts from beyond the arc and were just 3 of 21 from deep in the first half. They were being outscored from deep 30-0 by the Mavs at one point in this ballgame. Mavs doubling up the Lakers midway through the second, and Dennis Schroeder slipping, trying to play some defense on Tim Hardaway Jr., and then Kyrie Irving a long 2 right there, and then Kyrie in transition. The chase down block by his former teammate LeBron James, soaring through the air to erase that layup attempt. But Dallas led 61-37 at halftime. Lakers coming back in quarter number 3, a 12-0 run. Anthony Davis for the finish, then LeBron gets 2. Jared Vanderbilt was all over the place in this one. 15 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 steals. One of those steals right there, a great behind-the-back pass to Troy Brown Jr. for the lay-in. The Lakers get their first lead since 10-9 as they were trailing by as many as 27 points. And teams this year were 0-138 this season when trailing by at least 27 points. Luka and LeBron both with 26 points apiece in this one. Luka puts the Mavs back up by 1 after the and 1. And then it's Anthony Davis for the putback. 13 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Lakers by 3, 30 to go. Dallas gets a bucket from Kyrie. Then Anthony Davis, a big fadeaway. He had 30 points and 15 rebounds, a 3-point game as Kyrie tries to loft one from half court to send it to overtime. But the Lakers complete the largest comeback in the NBA this season. And don't look now, but the new look Lakers have won 4 of their last 5.
All right, our NBA expert, Alistair Albert, joins us now. Alistair, welcome.
Hello.
All right, so we're talking about the Lakers, and this time, after a long time, the Lakers, they look like a playoff contender.
Yeah, look like a playoff contender. Thank goodness for a refreshing trade. It lets some fresh air into the room. You kind of feel a little better. That's what it kind of looks like for the Lakers right now. Getting these new guys in. Jared Vanderbilt was everywhere on the court. So there were 2 things I will say repeatedly during this broadcast. The ubiquity of Jared Vanderbilt just being everywhere, steals, scoring, just being a defensive best. And then there was the gym analogies being made about LeBron taking the smaller guys down in the post and kind of, bullying his way to baskets in the paint. I think it's great when you see teams kind of actually use their advantages. The Lakers are a much bigger team, and they push the pace. They're second in the league in pace. The Dallas Mavericks are only 29th. There's a very slow and deliberate pace to their game because of Luka Doncic, of course. But their size disadvantage is really what did them there. And some questionable coaching by Jason Kidd. But yeah, the Lakers needed this. They're 4-1 in the last 5 games since the trade has happened, and it's breathed some new life into their season. And they could hopefully get into the playoff positioning which they're so desperately need.
Yeah, we speak about new life. How important is it that, the players stay fit? And we know AD is a player that is injury prone. LeBron isn't as fit as he used to be, despite putting up these numbers and, of course, playing his heart out. How crucial is it that these players stay fit if the Lakers are to make a playoff spot?
I think we've seen it last season, and I think we've seen it up to this point in the season. if the Lakers are not healthy, it's just a bottom line statement. If they're not healthy, they go nowhere. If AD is injured, if LeBron is injured, this team will go nowhere. There was a very scary moment in the third quarter where LeBron actually, he seemed to have tweaked his ankle or something. He said once he was resting on the court, he said it multiple times. I think maybe viewers who watch the game said, I heard it pop. And to me, that just brought a little bit of PTSD for me, because 2 summers ago, I tore my Achilles tendon, and I know exactly what I heard a pop means. I was wondering whether or not LeBron could even get up at that point. But then he was able to do that, jump around a little bit, kind of get his flow back into everything. And, he was able to complete the game. He mentioned there that, the importance of that game and trying to gain some ground was really big for them. So, yeah, if they don't have LeBron, if they don't have AD, and, the 2 leaders of this team, it's over for the Lakers.
Yeah, Alistair, what were you doing to tear your Achilles tendon?
Playing basketball.
Oh, you were?
He played against a guy who didn't realize how good I was, and then he got burnt, and I ended up killing myself from the extended tear.
Stick to that story, Alistair.
It's true.
Oh, no. Lance, anything?
I just wanted to make the point that the Lakers, the teams that finish regular season 7-10 will go into the play-in. And at the moment, the Lakers are just outside of that frame, but within 1 win of most of the teams that are in position 7-10. I think they've got 31 and 30 wins respectively, the Lakers at the moment with 29. So you have to feel that with this improved form, the Lakers should get into the play-ins at least.
Yeah, I think the teams that are above them, they're having a little bit of a difficult time. What we saw going into that game on Sunday, they were able to overtake the Thunder, who were in the 12th spot, and they were able to leapfrog them. Now we have the Blazers, who I think are in 11th place, as you can see on the graphic there. And the Pelicans have just been in free fall since November last year. So, getting into that 10th spot, what we see in the standings, they're just about 1 game, just behind to get into the play-in itself. The 6th spot, which they're trying to get into, because, of course, the magic number for them is getting to that 6th spot where they secure a playoff spot. They don't have to go through the whole play-in routes and everything. That's where they ultimately want to reach. And then being able to play who might be the 3rd seed, the Sacramento Kings, who they think they have a little bit of an advantage over. So, yeah, I think it's the last 20 or so games for them. It was really, really crucial. They've got some, a slightly lighter schedule ahead. 2 games against the Wolves, 2 games against the Thunder, 2 games against the Jazz, the Bulls, 2 games against Houston. I'm sure they're going to be looking forward to Houston coming into their building. So they need to be able to continue to make up that ground to advance into the seeding to kind of get to the playoffs. So let's see what happens. And of course, like Mariah said, if they could stay healthy and continue to play as competitively as they are, get D'Angelo Russell back into the fold, they'll be in a good position to do it.
Yeah, and while the Lakers continued their fight, the Bucks were showing their dominance. They extended their winning run to 14 games, beating the Phoenix Suns, who are still without Kevin Durant.
A rematch of the 2021 NBA Finals. The Phoenix Suns still have yet to see Kevin Durant play a game in their uniform. Meanwhile, Giannis Antetokounmpo sitting this one out for the Bucks as well with a quad injury. And Devin Booker trying to show a little star power in this one early on. But Booker missed his first 6 shots from the floor. Did not start off very well at all. And this one on the drive, blocked by Brook Lopez, one of his 4 swats in the game. He's had 3 or more now in 7 of the last 8 games. Lopez scored the last 7 of the first half for the Bucks to give them a 7-point lead. And then Drew Holiday taking over, knocks down a step-back 3, and then lobs to Grayson Allen for the dunk. And Giannis, he may not be in uniform, but still just as jubilant on the bench. Devin Booker would heat up in the second half. He did pass Sean Marion for 4th on the all-time Phoenix scoring list in this ballgame. Tough jumper right there. Milwaukee up by just 1. Phoenix up by 1 now. Chris Paul going up off the glass. 18 points and 7 assists for him. And then DeAndre Ayton, double-double for the 14th time in his last 19 games. He had 22 and 11. And the Suns grabbed an 8-point lead. 6-point game now. The former Sun, Jay Crowder, knocking down the corner 3. Then Drew Holiday inside for the lay-in, ties it at 96, and then gives Milwaukee the 2-point edge with a 3-ball right there. Holiday finished with 33. He's averaging 25 and 9 in 8 games without Giannis this season. More from Booker. Tough turnaround over Holiday. 24 points, 8 assists for him. Meanwhile, Lopez had the big first half and contributed with 22 points, 13 rebounds, and the 4 blocks. I had mentioned Milwaukee by 2 with under 25 to play. Now it's Booker getting past Holiday, but loses the ball. Lopez recovers. As you look at the replay, maybe Holiday got a hand in there, but Booker and Paul combined for 8 turnovers in this ballgame. Bucks up by 4, long pass, and the one thing you can't do if you're Milwaukee is foul a 3-point shooter. Devin Booker misses the 3, but Lopez fouls him. He would head to the line. Booker needed to make the first 2 and missed the last. Booker misses the free throw, and the Bucks would hold on. It's the longest winning streak in the NBA this season, 14 straight for Milwaukee. Phoenix loses for just the 5th time in its last 17 games. A good one on Sunday, 104-101.
All right, so Alistair, still with us. The Rockets, they've been extremely poor this season, Alistair.
So I didn't hear that. Could you just repeat that again? Sorry about that.
All right, so I'm going to rephrase. Of course, the Rockets being extremely poor, and we also need to touch on, with the time we have left, Damian Lillard made their season worse last night with a 71-point performance, the 8th highest individual score in NBA history.
Yeah, Damian Lillard, just did something that I think a lot of people kind of expect from him, to be quite honest. Let me actually put in context here. Damian Lillard is one of the 75 best players ever in the NBA, right? He made that anniversary score last season or whatever it was. So I think we come to expect the hot shooting that he can do. And, it was just an offensive display of what he can do there in that situation. Of course, he was playing against the Houston Rockets, which is, again, one of those situations where you'd be like, well, if he had maybe a stronger team against him defensively, would he have been able to do that? He's played a very young and inexperienced team, which I actually think, might be in a position where they might end up losing their head coach at the end of this season. But, whatever the case may be, Damian Lillard scored 13 3-pointers out of 22 attempts. The efficiency of it. He was, I think, 5 or 6 from the logo and everything. Logo day, they call it. And game time was just in full effect. He's just a remarkable player that once he just gets into that zone, it's really hard to stop. And, it was just a remarkable display last night. 8th best ever. It's crazy.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him. Alistair, as always, we welcome your input on the Sportsmax Zone. We look forward to chatting with you again very soon. Thank you.
I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
All right, Alistair Albert there, our NBA expert. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.